Hi, Tim Sales here. In this video, we're talking about what prevents somebody from joining a network marketing business, and one of those is lacking vision. There's many reasons why a prospect could be lacking a vision, but the one that I'm going to be focusing on in this video is they can't or won't design the future, all right? So they just never had that moment or had that realization that they should plot their perfect life. Okay? So I know this one pretty well. I grew up, would go to work with my dad, construction, and so I was on a path that I was just going to go right on into doing construction. And because I never just sat down and said, hey, okay, so on average, I've got about 75 years here. What am I going to do here? You know, and I was never really making that decision because I was grooved in to a particular direction, okay? And it was get a job. And since I already started working up through the ranks, if you will, with my dad. So I would learn a little bit about foundation. I'd learn a little bit about framing. I'd learn a little bit about lawn care. I'd learn a little bit about this and that. Then it was just, I was already in a rut, if you wanted to call it that. I was just in a little groove here, right? And so I was following a line. And so that's typically what I find when that person just, you're giving them something and they have no idea what it is, right? Like they can't put it in a bucket. They don't have that bucket to put it in, that drawer to put it in, right? So no vision, never thought about it. Or they don't believe they can attain the vision. Okay, so let's say a video talks about creating freedom or creating wealth or something like that. And they just no, that's for somebody else. That's for, a celebrity. That's for a whatever. So they can't take themselves and say, I could learn that, right? They have a vague or a conflicting vision. All right. So, let's say that the person wants to, be a great singer, but they don't know any musician, anything about music. You see how that could happen there? And so they've got a vague, in other words, it's unclear what their future is going to be. Well, once I get married, then I'll figure out what I'm going to do, or, because I don't want to be in conflict with my spouse, because my spouse might want something. You know what I mean? So there's vagueness and there's conflicting visions. And then there's no compelling reason to do anything different. I got a job. Why would I need that? Right? That's sort of an idea you can see, I call it the velvet rut, and there's a velvet rut at all income levels. There's a velvet rut at, $20,000 a year. There's a velvet rut at $50,000 a year. There's a velvet rut at $5 million a year. It just has to do with no compelling reason, just the way they view it. The other reason is that they may have created a vision for their life, but they don't revisit their vision frequently enough. And so it's not right in front of them. Never implemented steps that attain their vision. Okay, so this is sort of like a checklist that I have kind of intuitively because I know what this is all about how do I want to create my perfect life? What is my perfect life, right? Do I want to live at the beach? Do I want to live in the mountains? Do I want to travel? Do I want to live in other countries at different times? Do I want to it's your 75 years. Do what you want, right? Otherwise, you're going to do what others want you to do. And that's just the way that I view it. And so there have been various times where I had different thoughts. I thought, well, you know what? I'd already joined the Navy. I can't have that vision anymore. And so I just ended up saying, wait a minute, I can get out. You know, like I was 12 years in when I decided to get out. And everybody in the Navy my friends were like, what? Nobody gets out at 12 years. You only have 8 more and then you get retirement. And so I had a different, I kind of renewed what I wanted, and I just decided right then I couldn't just get out, because you have to do time until that expiration date comes up. And so, but I plotted it. I figured it out. I began to decide how I wanted to change my life. And it doesn't matter if you're 70 years old, you've still got 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or whatever it is. Change it, right? It's your life. That's kind of like what it all comes down to. And so when I'm talking with a prospect, and I can kind of tell that there's just this, like if this is the target, they're just kind of missing it, right? It's when it's that point where I then say, like, what's your big goal? Right? So you can't, if you look at it, you've got like this big thing called the vision. And then you've got the 5-year goal that's in alignment with the vision. And then you got a 1 year, and then you've got it broken down into like quarters every 90 days. And then it breaks down to, on your calendar, what are you doing? In alignment with the 1 year, in alignment with the 5 year, in alignment with the vision, right? And then to what I'm doing this moment is in alignment with all of that. You see, if people aren't living that way, then they are not designing their life. They're not plotting their future. They're just kind of like allowing TV or the internet to like Ouija board them off of what they want to do, right? And so that's what I do with a prospect is that I'm looking, like this is a bit of a checklist. It's intuitive to me now. It used to be a checklist of when I found that prospect being that way. So I suggest that you just think about this and some of your prospects, and like people that that you brought it to. And then, you see kind of, you're close to them. You see their life. You see how much time they spend on TV, or you see how much time they spend online, or, how many times they post on Facebook and things like that, right? It's not business related. It's just, other things related. You can kind of see that potentially this could be a situation, but my rule is that people live however they want to live. I'm not like trying to change them. I'm not trying to make them better. I'm trying to help them make themselves better because they want to get better. So if somebody would have come to me, about any business, I'd have just, when I was in the Navy and I was really like at the top of my game, and I was, high spirited on what I did, I remember in the locker room, some guy said something or other, we don't do this for the money, right? So some guy got his check and he goes, man, I only made this much money. And I remember some guy saying, we don't do this for money, man. And I remember thinking, my man, right? That's what we are. Until that wasn't the case. When I said, you know what? I want more. And then that's when I needed somebody to reach down and grab my hand and say, I can assist you. And network marketing is the best business I know of, because you can have somebody reach down and grab your hand and pull you up and then walk you through the steps. And so life is a series of actions. It's all life really is when you boil it down, that you initiate or don't initiate. And I want to find out if my prospect is initiating. Are they initiating making their life? Have they decided that they want something bigger? And if they have, I want to intersect into their life right at that time. All right, I want to be there. So tell me what you think about this video. How about you? When did you decide, hey, I'm going to set my future, right? And was it an occurrence? Did something happen that caused it? Because that is the, as we all read your comments, we're able to see, wow, okay, so I could meet somebody who had that intersection where they turned right? And so please do comment and tell me what happened at that intersection. What occurred? I just said, man, women would not want a guy who busts doors down and goes, like running into rooms, you know what I mean? Like or defusing bombs or jumping out of airplanes. I decided I needed more and I needed to get out of the military. That was my decision. What's yours? Comment down below. Also, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate you.